Hello, 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 hello. Well, she just left, but it's all good.
That's so funny.
It's all good. Okay, well, welcome to our Powerful Creator Mastermind. We are on chapter 9, Getting Started, which I think is really funny because it's chapter 9 and it's talking about getting started. I was making a joke earlier. I was like, we're just getting started. So I felt like we started in chapter 1, but it's all good. Um, This chapter was super, super great. This whole entire journey, this book has been really, really amazing. And I'm really proud of everybody who's just been part of the journey this far and like continuing to stick it out and continuing to do it. Because honestly, once it starts to get to the back of the book, is really when things start to dwindle down. Like to me, it's when, you just like it's harder to stay committed around this time, especially if you're not committed. But, like sticking around to actually finishing the book, actually applying the work and stuff takes more than motivation, takes more than just um being excited about it or wanting to do it. It takes actually being committed to doing it because let me tell you, I am tired. I'm really, really tired. I'm still catching up from the chapter last week. We have the chapter this week, but hey, it's the name of the game. And at the end of the day, I can be tired, I can be whatever, but one thing I'm not going to be is broke. So I'm gonna show up. Okay, we are going to show up
Yeah,
every
boy.
So, in this chapter, getting started, he talks about his 10 steps to basically like to get started, right? So the whole theme of this chapter is action creates wealth. So really just building momentum in motion, right? Actually getting started and actually doing something about it. And so one thing that I love that he says in the book is the world pushes you around, be brave, get started anyway. And that's one thing that I really, really learned. I feel like that's why, I mean, I kind of have this attitude because of my dad, but over time, I've definitely, just learned that we really have to do the most out here. Like we have to believe in ourselves and we have to show up because we are going to get pushed around. Like the world is going to tell us what to do because there's leaders all around, right? There's always people telling us which way to go, this way or that way. And if we are not focused on our own agenda, if we're not committed to what it is that we want to do, we're going to be pushed around to somebody else's agenda, right? And so we have to be brave and get started anyway. And so one of the first steps he talks about is the title of this step is I Need a Reason Greater Than Reality, the Power of Spirit. So some of the notes that I wrote down is if you're going to build wealth, you need a reason that hits your soul, not just your bank account. Your why has to pull you through doubt, fear, and delays. It has to, oh my goodness. Your why has to pull you through doubt, fear, and delays. It has to mean something deeper than just money. That's the fuel that keeps you going when things get uncomfortable, right? So for me, like that gives me an affirmation of just saying to myself, like my vision is greater than my fear. And so to me, like basically what this is saying is really getting in tune with your why, really getting in tune with why you are doing this. And I do my best to talk about this all the time, but I really think like a big reason why I have the motivation that I have, the energy that I have is because of the amount of conviction that I have. Like I do not like to see my family struggling, like at all. I don't like to see um like I love my family, I love people, I love all of us, and I don't like to see my people struggle. And so to me, like I take that shit personal. Like I don't give a fuck if I'm tired right now. Like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna learn this stuff and I know that I can. And whenever my sister started having their babies these past couple years, I've always been I did not want to have babies young. And I know that's not like everybody's choice and everything, right? Like I know it wasn't my sister's choice to have kids very, very young. I just knew because my parents like they had kids way before they were able to. And so what that did for me being like the oldest was I had to grow up really, really fast because of that. I didn't have a childhood. I've always been like this because I had to be. Like at 5 years old, I was in charge of everybody. Like I was like left alone, taking care of my three brothers and sisters at like 5, 6, 7 years old. I was in charge of everything, making sure they ate, they showered, they did their homework. Like literally at 8 years old, I was out here telling people what to do. So that's why being a leader and stuff comes natural to me, but it also gives me that deep conviction of like, it didn't need to be like that. Like I should have had a child of that. That responsibility should not have been on mine. And when I look back and I think about why that was the case, it wasn't because my parents just weren't there. It's because they were working. They were working two full-time jobs. My mom was working at night while my dad worked during the day. And so like my dad worked, 5 a.m. to 6, and my mom 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And literally, like between that time, between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., that was my time where I had to get up and get all of my brothers and sisters ready for school. And she would like, I remember my mom would literally get home just in time for us to, uh, like for her just to like look over everybody and check our like clothes and stuff before we got on the bus. And so my why is very, very deep. I have a lot of conviction. Like and I see my family all the time. And so every time I'm done seeing them, literally, I feel like I have this new energy of like coming back home and being like, I got to get to it. You know what I mean? Like I see my nieces and my nephews and my sisters, and I look around and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to learn how to build assets. I'm going to learn the rules. I'm going to learn how to play the game. I'm not going to sit here and make fucking excuses because fuck that. Like, that's just where I'm at with it. Step 2, he talked about I choose daily, the power of choice. Oh, you're camping. What's up, Kels? We're just out here catching up on chapter 9, getting started. So, step 2, he was talking about the power of choice. You're not stuck, you're not too late, you're not behind. You have choice every single day to keep playing small or to step into your power. Wealth doesn't happen accidentally, it happens by deciding to show up for yourself again and again. And so, of course, we talk about that. We talk about that like on a spiritual level, an emotional level, but more on a financial level. Doing the work throughout this book these past couple weeks, I've learned the difference between an asset and liability, and I've done the work to learn what all different kinds of assets are. I've learned what high maintenance assets are, low maintenance assets are, um, all kinds of stuff. And I've genuinely, like, my mind has genuinely changed to where I see how it really is a choice in what you invest your money into. Like it's literally either $10 at Starbucks or $10 into your asset accounts. Like you can make that choice all the time. And now that I see that more clearly, I'm able to, continue to make those choices and continue to see like, okay, do I really want to spend it on this, or do I really want to, invest into myself? And I think that's important, because we hear about that. We hear about making better habits and making different decisions. But I think that whenever you really don't know why, like whenever you don't believe in generational wealth because you don't know about it, like you don't know that you can actually create an asset that will pay you back, you don't have that conviction, you don't have that like drive or like that motivation to invest your money because you don't know where to put it, you know what I mean? But once you do the work and you do learn how to, and it's there for you to do, then you start to see more and more how like it doesn't take that much money. It just takes you making that choice every single day, you know what I mean? $10 here, $20 there, $50 here, just over time, that those choices compound, right? And when those choices compound, they come back and you get your return. So that's what I got. Step 3, I'm just gonna go over like 2 more and then I'll pass it on to Kels. Um Oroshizi. Step 3 was choose your friends wisely, the power of association. Who you hang with shapes how you think, period. If you're around people who complain, stay broke, or gossip all day, it'll affect your energy and your decisions. But if you're around people who are building, investing, and thinking big, that energy rubs off. And you already know, like, we're 100% about that, especially in this community. Like, that's why this community is here, so we can be around people who are on the same thing. Like one thing that he had mentioned in the book was he's like when he's like, I like to be around people who make a lot of money because they talk about making a lot of money. And I really like that because if I be honest, like that's what I'm on. Like I want to have conversations about making more money. Like I want to have conversations about like, oh, I thought about this, or I found out about this asset, or I found out about this idea, or I found out about this new way to make money. Like that is the kind of conversations that like I'm excited about, that I want to have. And you have to have a particular kind of mindset to be able to even be open to that. You know what I mean? Like you have to be a certain kind of person to believe in yourself enough and to believe in what's going on out here enough and to have a certain level of financial literacy. You know what I mean? So like that's what I mean by doing the work to read these books, because if you don't do the foundational work, you're not going to be able to know what options are out there, right? So if you don't do the work, if you don't read the book, if you don't apply the actual steps that it takes to actually learn what you need to learn, then you're sitting there and you're asking yourself, well, I don't know how else to make more money. Like you're shooting yourself in the foot, because you can't know, because you haven't done the work to learn the different ways. You know what I mean? And so it's not about us being unworthy of not making more money. Sometimes we just don't know what options are out there. But um we have the ability to learn. And okay, last one I'm gonna talk about, and then I'll pass it off. Use assets to buy luxuries, the power of focus. This is one that I think is very, very important. This is one of the biggest things that I took away in this round of reading this book this time, is really understanding what assets are. And once I started to really understand what assets are, to me, what happened in my mind, in my mindset, and my goals, and my financial literacy life journey these past couple weeks, that it really helped me shape my goals. It really helped me learn how to, I guess, like compartmentalize like my goals, right? So like we all have goals, right? We want to buy a house, we want to buy land, we want to buy a car. I knew that. I knew what I wanted. I knew what the goals were. But I knew that there was something that I didn't know. Like I knew there was something before that, but I didn't know what it was, because I was like, I know you don't just make a lot of money and buy this stuff. I knew enough of financial literacy to know that, but I didn't know like the in between. I was like, well, what are those, right? And so that's why in the beginning of the year, I had set my goals. I was clear on my numbers. I was clear on how much money I wanted to make per month, like what kind of house I wanted to live in. Like I was clear on my long-term goals, and I was good on that. Even though there were certain things that knew in the middle, I knew that as long as I was clear on the long-term goals and I continue to do the work, the process of me doing the work, I'll get the answers in between. And by doing the work, that is what happened. And so throughout this journey, I've learned what those assets are, right? So like I learned how to organize my goals. So instead of my goals just being like I want to get this house, or I want to get this car, or this and that, my goals have shifted to like, okay, I want to invest into assets to purchase these goals, to pay for these luxuries. So yes, I want the house, I want the car, I want the land, I want all the things, right? But my goal right now isn't those things. My goal right now is focus on the assets that are going to be able to afford those things right now, right? So mindset shift, focus shift. So right now I am like asset crazy. Like I'm just learning all about assets. Like I said earlier, high investment assets. Did I say that? No, high maintenance assets, low maintenance assets, all the different kinds of assets. Like I'm just geeking out on assets right now. And I love it. You know, I'm excited. Like I can really feel progress, and I really feel like this level of like obsession right now. And things are, they're happening, they're building, and I'm just really, really excited. And so like part of my spiritual and emotional work that I'm doing during this time is really just allowing myself to believe and know that everything's okay, that everything is safe, that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that I am on the way, and really just allowing myself to feel at peace with it and feel like it's enough, you know. Because I like that's really, really real. Like I'm the first person in my family to ever do something like this, to ever build something like this. And because of that, it sounds all great, but like being in it, sometimes it like psychs me out. Sometimes I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Like I get these doubts, right? These fears come in, but I have to say no and push that out and be like, no, Amber, like you're not doing anything wrong. Like you are worthy, you are enough. This is enough. And you're safe. You're safe to receive. You're safe to grow. You're safe to build. You're safe to break generational curses. So we're out here. And that's what I gotta say today on this chapter. Roshizi, do you want to go next? If you can.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, barely. You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, how about now?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. I can't hear you guys though. But anyway, um, I got a lot going on right now. So my biggest takeaway from the chapter was probably the part where he said that most people, like poor people, basically choose to be poor, or that like because getting rich or being rich is too much work, too much of a hassle, like most people are just like willingly like stuck in the middle or poor class, right? um that was a big thing for me because it just rests in the power of our choice. Like we all have the freedom to choose what we do, and he talked about that, like what we do with our time, our money, and our energy. And like you can watch TV or you can read a book. And he talked about the most people buy TVs and electronic devices, and like 10% of people buy business books. So I was thinking about how I've been spending my time because like I used to think, and I think it's a common misconception that like you have to like have money to make more money, which like it can be true in a sense, but like I don't know, right now like I'm investing into my mind, investing into my learning, investing into all of the work that it takes to get to the place that I want to go. And like thinking about how to like we have so many resources at our hands, like this audiobook is on YouTube for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is like he said in the beginning of the chapter, like gold is everywhere. Not everybody's trained to see it though. Like there's so many like free resources, so many resources available for people that can help get them to where they want to go. And it's just a matter of like whether or not people are going to take those and use them. And so like I've been listening to all the free audiobooks that I can, and um being a part of a community like this, and also TGF, and communities like that where we talk about these kinds of things. I just resonated with that part because that's where I'm at, is like my situation is not what I want it to be right now, but I know like where I want to go, and how I'm getting there is by doing this work that I'm doing. And yeah, like I'm not choosing to what he also talked about was that it's easier for most people to just get a job and work for money. Um and I'm not looking for the easy way. Like I feel like it's been actually pretty tough and challenging just working for money, like because there's never enough. There's always more bills, there's always more, this comes up, that comes up, or the price of living goes up or whatever. And it's just like um I don't think it's easier to work for money personally. So like the fact that most people think it's just easy, it's like I guess more of a convenience. It's more of a like, I don't know, this is the way that we're taught, so we're just gonna go with it. Just everything that he talked about in the beginning, like as far as like if you're somebody who doesn't want to be a part of the masses, then like this is what's for you. Um yeah, that part resonated with me. And what else? Um, he talked about like our biggest asset, our mind. And I liked that he referenced The Richest Man in Babylon, because I didn't even realize that he referenced that book the first time that I read this. But now that I've read that book, I caught that he referenced it in this book. Because I thought the pay yourself first, like Robert Kiyosaki came up with that. But it all makes sense, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, I'm gonna pass the mic. I'm in the store chasing my daughter, and it's just a lot. So, um, Anastasia, do you want to go?
Hello. Oh my. You guys had a lot of good takes,
You
and
almost like you're in paradise.
Oh, it's the backyard, girl.
Amazing.
It's paradise. I'm gonna miss it when I'm not here. Huh. Um, so I'd much rather read a book than listen to audio. I don't listen to audio at all. I mean, I'm just not that person. I really don't like my earphones in because I can't hear what's going on. But I'll read a book and highlight the shit out of it. So right now I'm reading the Bible and it all makes sense to me right now. It all I shouldn't say all, still very confusing to a point. But now I can start connecting the pieces and how they apply to my life. And forgot what book I was in, but it mentioned the financial aspect. And it said, basically, any asset you have is not even yours. Like anything under the sun is not even yours. And I believe in assets more than, money, like how Amber was saying, like assets are like the where you go because your money won't grow from there. Your money won't always grow from the other aspect. So, anyways, it said um that it's not ours and but the land you purchase, if it's under like the heart of God, then that will grow 10 times fold. Like it's something. Why are you smiling? There's 10, there's and I truly believe that when I read it, it like hit hard. I'm like, you're right, like none of this is mine. I can only use money for the good, for what I believe is the glory of God. So I really like bringing the spiritual aspect into it, but I mean, TGF's read this book, I don't know, 5 times. You've read it, I don't know how many times. So I think it's about time I read it. Um, and I want to mention what Easy said about um, how people choose like to be poor. And it's so true. Like until you truly like bust your ass to figure out you don't want to be poor, like busting your ass is what works, and you choose to stop that, it's like you're choosing to be poor and live the life you're still living, broke as hell. So that's my little take on it. I don't think I have anything else to say. Oh, this is how I invested myself actually. I just did it now. I got my first freaking check today in over a year, and it's beautiful. And I just put 250 into crypto, into my trading account that's live. So yeah, like the fact that I was able to drop 250 into myself is it was so powerful. And like I paid off everything else first, and I totally forgot about the trading, but that was literally my number one. So when I remembered it and pulled up the app, that's why I have the app as a widget on my phone. So I dropped everything. Of course, there's a whole ass exchange to it, but it's going to be in there by Monday. I can start growing that money more than 250. So that's my goal right now financially, and I'm excited. I think I'm going to be able to truthfully afford the life I've been looking for. So it's really freeing, honestly. So I'm going to pass it. Let's go to Michelle Rodriguez.
Girl, you are hilarious.
You're welcome, girl.
You crack me up.
Good. That's the point, girl.
That is hilarious. What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. Let me tell you, these, I swear, I think I read on Instagram the other day that they said that July 9th, was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday or the day before, was the shortest day in history. And I was like, what? I was like, that is crazy because it feels like every day is just getting shorter and shorter. But maybe because I'm way more intentional. Like I'm not even looking at the clock. I keep my phone on for 1 hour a day. I don't know. It's just so crazy. I'm just out here busy, but also not busy at the same time, you know, which is like crazy. Like I give myself my time, and you know, so to piggyback off of what Roshizi said about your biggest asset is your time. For me, second, you know, I mean, in the same sentence, your mind, because you're if you're not pouring into yourself, I'm happy for you that you're pouring into your bank account and into your portfolio. But if you're not pouring into yourself, then there's not a foundation there. There's no bones, you know? And so when things kind of slip, you know, whatever, they depreciate for whatever reason. Like, let's say, for example, I buy a car, 2017 Honda Accord Sport, all the knickknacks, you name it. It depreciates 25% the second I drive it off of that lot, and every year thereafter. However, if I go and I get that same car that's a depreciating asset, and I sit there and I put my thinking cap on, I can turn it into, you know, a Turo or something, or some kind of a service. And now it becomes appreciating. So now I'm not sitting there, you know, being a victim with my portfolio or things that I own, and understanding that a car is not an asset. You know, dividend stocks, crypto, gold, silver, those are assets. But what are your, like, my questions and my conversations with people now are so intentional that I'm like, how do you pour into yourself? Like, what does your morning routine look like? Those are my first questions with, I interview people. Like, I want to know what you're on, because then then I can know if I can be a part of what you're on. Period. I'm good. I'm very selective. Like my family, baby, they stuck with me. Some of them, if they were my friends, they know it. I would not be their friend. Let's just be honest. But God blessed me with them, and I love them, flaws and all. But my friends, no. Like, I'm too grown out here for that. So very selective, and you have to be nowadays. I mean, look, like, it's crazy out here. You think if you're going to understand a financial game out here, you're going to understand that the Rothschild, that the Rockefeller family, that Wall Street, that all the Elon Musk, the royal family, those people run the world. They are BlackRock. They are Goldman Sachs. They are Wall Street. And if you don't understand that, utilize a free application called Chat GPT and ask them who runs the World Financial Bank. And it's time, guys. If you're not investing, like, if you don't have at least one XRP in your portfolio, which, by the way, one coin costs $2.54 as of 30 minutes when I checked it, then what are you really doing? There is absolutely no excuse why not everybody, you or people you know, should be owning a little bit of XRP. And if you don't, you need to look into what XRP is and the utility and what is happening before your eyes. We are in a great awakening. There is going to be a whole new financial shift, and we are a part of that. It's exciting times. It's exciting times because we go from being the middle class to a 1% class real quick. I mean, it's crazy out here. So that's where my mind and my focus has been, on my XRP. All day, every day. And I talk to everybody I know about it. Did you get your cold wallet? Did you buy XRP? Did you get your cold wallet? Did you get your XRP? Did you figure out what ISO 20022 means? Did you figure out what's happening? Like, it's real life out here. And, you know, call me crazy. Call me XRP army fanatic. Call me biased. Call me whatever. I've been doing my research, baby. And for years, not just like 2 seconds ago. And so I think it's very just essential that if you're going to be in the rooms, ask the questions. Ask the freaking questions. It's so imperative. It's so imperative. I'm constantly like, okay, how can I, well, so what's going to happen? Oh, okay, I'm going to need to add, I'm going to need to add, stable coin accepting monitors to my businesses. because that's the shift we're going into. I'm already thinking 10 steps ahead, you know? And
Michelle,
that's where
what was the wallet you mentioned? What was it called?
it's a cold wallet.
Okay.
So there's different cold wallets, but the only one that I recommend, and everyone has their own things. I like DSET, but do your own research, figure out what works for you. I don't use
Is it
Ledger.
reset?
Yeah, D as in dog, and then cent, like a cent, like a penny, CENT.
Oh.
D, capital D apostrophe capital CENT.
Okay.
But before you purchase that, find out why. Why am I utilizing this cold wallet? Why, like all those important things, you know what I mean? And so anyways, I think every American citizen, I don't even care if you're not an American citizen, whatever you are, whatever kind of citizen you are, should be owning. Oh my God. No. I just spilled my whole pitcher. No. I have a whole gallon of water in my front seat. Love that for me. That's okay. I bought this water pitcher, y'all, that filters out fluoride and a bunch of stuff. And it just tipped over. Love that. Oh, I love that.
The
Anyway,
devil is alive.
hey, I'm still alive, you know, I really am. Like the
Amen.
floods have been real out here. And the passenger seat can flood all at once.
Hallelujah.
But anyways, yeah, you know, I'm not trying to make this a crypto talk because that's literally, I feel like all I talk about, that and manifestations. I don't know, and God.
Make it a crypto talk, girl. It's fine. That's what we're here for.
But I do realize, I do want people to realize that, you know, it's really just important that if you didn't get in on like certain things that you wanted to get in, I think you need to just honestly, like learn about what it is that you're interested in. Just because I'm passionate about a certain project doesn't mean that gold isn't, you know, gold is a tier 1 asset now. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different things that people can still get in on that they may be passionate about. But learn about it and get in on it. You know, maybe it's art for you. You know, my boyfriend is really into watches. That's his thing. He buys really high-end watches. And I'm like, baby, like, let me look the other way, because why are you, you know, and I'm not talking about a Rolex. We ain't got Rolex money yet. Yet. But he gets really nice watches and he knows all about it. He geeks out and, oh, look, babe, and, you know, it's really cool because of this. And, oh, I can't wait to give this to, you know, one of our nephews or whatever. And I'm like, wow, babe, like that's your thing. He's like, babe, these are real life assets. I'm like, no, I know. And I love that you're all into that, you know? And it's really awesome to see. It could be art, it could be watches, it could be gold, it could be silver, it could be crypto, it can be fucking whatever. Just get an appreciating asset for the life of anything, you know? And understand what debt is. Go look at the US debt clock right now. Trillions of dollars into debt. Understand that clock like the back of your hand. I keep it up at work. I like want to know. I like watching it because I'm like, we are literally changing the paradigm, and it's time. It is time. It is time. It is the Great Awakening. It is a 9-year year of the snake. We are shedding old habits, and we are going into new identities. And we are actively doing the work to learn what that even means. And so, yeah, amazing book. I mean, it's just Robert Kiyosaki. He's very controversial these days. He says a lot of things, and I think he just does it. I think it's his brand now. You know, he's just like outside saying the craziest, funniest things, and he goes back on his word sometimes too. I follow him and his wife very closely, and I'm just like, you know, there's a lot of our generation Robert Kiyosaki's that you can follow and really learn a thing or two. And so, yes, Robert Kiyosaki is like the god of like financial freedom along with the David Ramseys, but they're two very opposite beliefs. One says save everything to the snowball effect, and the other one says F it. Like they're not the same idea. So but there's a lot of other mentors like in that are on like our level of like our age group, like they're with the times, and and this is not me dissing Dave or Robert, because I think they're both fantastic and I've read a lot of both of their books, but it's 2025, man. If you're not utilizing AI in your business or learning how to create an app with code on ChatGPT and sell a fucking app to a fucking hairstylist for $2,000, baby, that is what I did last week, then what the fuck are you doing? I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna cuss and all, because I'm like just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, ChatGPT taught me how to create a fucking app. And I'm gonna fucking make my money, because that is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go work be a fucking wage slave over here and fucking like work 3 more shifts when I can literally create an app that someone needs. And now I just gained another fucking thing that I know how to do. Not because anybody else is out here like, oh my God. No. I said, F it. I'm gonna fucking teach myself how to build this shit out, and I'm gonna geek out for 2 months, and then I'm gonna start selling this shit. And screw it, screw it. But I'm also I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm different in the sense of like, I'm constantly like, okay, so what's happening? Why should I use Claude versus ChatGPT? Like, look, there's so many AI apps. Why should I utilize this one? Oh, bet this one gives me footnotes. Oh, bet this one's going to help me with my speaking notes. Oh, bet this one's going to help me edit and proofread. Oh, bet I should use this one for this, for research. Like, there's so many things out there. Go on youtube.com. It'll teach you in 5 minutes. You can act like an expert right before this call, and nobody would even know, because ain't nobody out here doing credit checks. By the way, credit is whack. Credit is whack, and we're not even going to need it here in the very near future. It is whack. If you have good credit, congratulations. That just means you have a lot of debt. Like, I don't even know what to say. And so, like, the dollar inflation, like, you have saved dollars right now, go invest it in XRP. Like, honestly, if you have $10, go put it in XRP and like do your own research. But please, like, if you could do anything, because you will automatically be appreciating very soon. Like, it is going to be so amazing, you guys. And I'm just wanting to send so much love to y'all, because like, it ain't easy times out here, and so we're out here on this call on a Thursday. I have a pool of water next to me, and that is absolutely okay. And we're thriving, and we're, why? Because our mental is on point. And even if it isn't, and our hearts are so pure and good, that we're like, it's okay. We're going to be fine. We're just having a little bump in the road. This is part of the plan. This is part of the journey. I'm so grateful. I'm so abundant. I'm so loved. I'm so patient. I'm light, all the things. Yeah, money. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. XRP, whatever. But like, at the end of the day, we're wealthy, man. We are the 1%ers on this call. We're already billionaires. I mean, truly, think about it. Like, are you kidding me? So that's really all I have to say. I'm not going to read off my notes, because clearly I can't do 2 things at once. I don't know where all this water went. Oh my God. Oh, well, it's not there anymore. Anyways, that's a story for another day. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing week. And just, I really, I'm so glad Alyssa's on this call. So I'm going to pass the mic to her. And yeah.
Okay, Michelle's like, that's all I have to say. I'm over here like in awe, should have took notes. Like, I'm like, okay. Brittany just fucked me up in the best of ways. I loved that. Like, honestly, 100%. Because I feel like I'm not as educated as I should be in the financial like world, or the aspect of investing. So it was very inspiring to just listen to you just go off. I love it. I'm sorry that thing spilled in your car. But yes, I'm sorry I jumped on a little bit later. I was stuck in traffic. I missed the question. We're just reflecting on chapter 9. But you can just reflect on everything that you've heard so far, like whatever you got. Yeah.
I mean, I think that there was so much truth to everyone's. I related to everyone that spoke. Like I said before, you know, I feel like I'm barely getting back on my feet as far as saving money, but I think it was Roshizi that said, you know, like we were always taught just I don't know, my mom always taught me to be frugal with money, to hold on to it, to not spend it, to be smart about it, to never depend on anyone else for it, to like I don't know, I just grew this relationship with money that I feel like was very fear-based, or fear of losing it, or fear of misspending it, or you know, being in debt, like things like that. Like I was very fearful with money. So yeah, you know, I feel like it is time for me to navigate that, to break that mold, to be the, how Michelle said, like to be the 1%, to be the people in our family that breaks that barrier, that breaks that wall, that breaks our relationship with money. um so yeah, I mean, I know that that's something that I was definitely taught growing up. And even now, you know, I find myself like saying, or even asking my mom, like, why didn't you teach me this? And then I realized, like, you know, I'm at an age where, like, okay, they didn't teach it to me. Like, I have the skills, the knowledge, the capability to teach myself. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was so inspiring to hear Michelle say that too, you know, like she said, she took it to the whole next level. She said, fuck it, let me learn code, let me create an app, let me, you know, so I'm like, okay, like, yes, exactly. I fucking love that. I love that energy. And just that persistence, that discipline, I feel like it takes to do that. And I don't want to use anything as an excuse anymore, you know, like I have the tools, I have the capabilities to teach myself and to be here in these calls, in these conversations with powerful creators that, you know, are also doing the same things, that are also seeking more knowledge, more skills, more information, you know, when it comes to financial literacy and just intellect overall. But yeah, yeah, honestly, I think everyone just hit it right on the nail. I'm excited to get this book finished, to get started on the next book. Um, but yeah, I mean, it has been a journey for me for sure. But I was asking, you know, a couple questions to Michelle too the other day about just how to get started and where to, you know, begin. And I, like someone said about like YouTube, like, girl, yeah, I YouTube everything. Like I have YouTubed myself some shit for sure. Um, but I just now know that like it doesn't always have to be like me teaching myself, like, you know, like being here in these conversations, reading these books, putting that intentional time. I haven't dove into the whole aspect of like ChatGPT, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I always feel like I was very resistant to it, and maybe like still am. And there is like ways that I can and will find, you know, use of it, and to work, you know, with it and have it work for me, how you know, like described in the book, like having it work for me and not the other way around. So yeah, that was my spiel. I don't even know how to go after Michelle. I have so many questions. So like but yeah, no, this is a good one. I'm excited for the notes and the blog on this one. Oh, thank you, friend. Love you.
Thank everybody for sharing and for what everybody shared. Like, I'm just so grateful. Yes, I'm really, really grateful for this space. I'm grateful for the value that comes with this cause, and really just a space for us to be able to come together and to do this work, you know, because that's what it's really about. Like, you know, a lot of us can relate that we weren't taught this stuff growing up, you know, but like Alyssa said, we weren't taught it growing up. And so it's our responsibility to learn it now, you know. And part of that, you know, is doing the work, and you know, understanding like where to get started. And it's so funny, Alyssa, like you had mentioned that question right now, like where to get started, because this chapter is called Getting Started. And so like with utilizing the books, utilizing the blogs, utilizing the resources that we have, like YouTube, ChatGPT, like asking other people, you know, because there's so many different places to get started. And one thing that I've definitely learned over the past couple of months of really diving deep into my financial literacy, my financial foundation, is that your financial system is personal. It's going to change. It's for you. You know, there's not one financial system, but it's about you getting clear on your goals and what you want, and then learning the game, learning the rules, you know, learning what's going on out here, and then creating like a system for yourself, like based on all of that, you know. And we talked about systems on Tuesday. Our systems are going to change over time with, you know, with what we learn. Like I know for sure for me, like my systems have changed completely over the past couple of weeks of just learning all of this new information, you know. Like my priorities in the beginning of the year are very different than what they are now, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And of course, like I just want to reiterate, like utilizing ChatGPT and our resources, because learning how to invest and learning what all these different things are, like crypto, like I know it can seem like a lot, it can be overwhelming. It's a lot of foreign information that we don't know about, right? But we have resources that can help us. Like you can literally talk to ChatGPT and ask it like straight up, like, what does this mean? Can you help me? How does this apply to me? You know, and have it answer questions for you that, you know, sometimes we're afraid to ask, or sometimes maybe, you know, the like book isn't answering as clearly as we need it sometimes, you know. And so I know for me, utilizing that, like I literally feel like invincible. Like I know that with knowing like how to think properly, believing in yourself, and then knowing how to use your resources, like it all coming together, like we're unstoppable, you know. So we're out here, we're building these assets, and I'm really, really excited. um so one thing that I want to say so whenever you are, so one thing that I really want to encourage everybody to do is have a money power hour. That means every single week there should be an hour where you're sitting down and you're focusing on your finances. You're focusing on organizing them, on studying, on whatever it is, but you're dedicating at least minimum 1 hour a week towards your finances. Like that is bare minimum, you know. Honestly, I'm gonna be like really, really frank too, because I love us and I really love all of us. I really believe that right now all of us are at a point where we really should be utilizing at least 30 minutes a day towards our finances. You know what I mean? Like we're in that place, like we are doing the work. This is the groundwork. And if we have time to watch Netflix, if we have time to be on TikTok, we have time to read a book, to listen to an audio, to plant a seed towards our financial education, you know. And it's our responsibility to do that, and utilizing our resources. So Powerful Creator, all of the blogs, all of those are seeds. All the blogs that I'm ever going to write are going to be Powerful Creator like principles and practices for you to utilize, right? Especially the money ones. The money ones are coming out like live in real time right now, but there is some good stuff in there. Like I've written a blog for each one of these chapters, and each one of those blogs has a lot of the information that we talked about on the call. So if y'all are ever wondering like, oh my gosh, what was Michelle talking about? I want to know what she said. It's probably in the blog, because I probably was interested in it too. And I did research and put it there for all of us, because we were all thinking the same thing about what Michelle was talking about, you know? And so I just want to like reiterate that those resources are there for you. Like we're not just having these conversations just to have them. Like they're being recorded for a reason. We're talking about them for a reason. Ask the questions right now, because I'm telling y'all right now, everything that Michelle said, I'm going back on this transcript, asking ChatGPT. Me and ChatGPT have a date, and we would talk about all of this stuff tonight. So that too. And then lastly, next week is we're wrapping up this book. So last week we're wrapping up the last two chapters, which is if you want more to-dos, here they are, and final thoughts. And so over the next week, go ahead and wrap up this book for yourself if you want to go ahead and catch up, whether you're reading it, whether you're listening to it, whether you're doing both. Go ahead and do that. And then next Thursday, we'll be wrapping up this book. So we'll be obviously going over our reflection over it, and then just talking about our whole journey on it. After that book, we are reading this book called The Psychology of Money. This book was brought up and recommended by Michelle. So, you know, to be a good leader, you gotta be a good student. And one thing I am, it's a good student. And so this is gonna be our next book. So I'm really excited, because it's like a mix of like practical and psychology, you know, because we read Think and Grow Rich, now Rich Dad Poor Dad, and now we're going back like to a psychology money book. So I'm really excited for this. This book, so we're gonna read it chapter by chapter, and it's basically gonna take us the rest of the year. So whenever we start, we're going to end around December, the beginning of December. So just with that being said, we had a really strong year. You know, obviously we're in the beginning of the year, but you know, we read Think and Grow Rich, we're Rich Dad Poor Dad, and we're finishing off the book this year strong with The Psychology of Money. And so the reason I'm saying that is just to, you know, get excited. I'm going to drop the ebook inside of the group, and I'm going to drop a link for you to buy this book. I bought this book off Amazon this past week. It was only $9. So really excited about that. And again, let's get excited with reading the book, applying it, you know, taking time. We're going to have this call every single Thursday. And just remember what we talked about on Tuesday, right? About our systems, right? Financial literacy is something that we must be good at, like as powerful creators. Like if we love ourselves and we truly love ourselves and believe in ourselves, we financially educate ourselves consistently. That is just a part of the game, right? So whether it's reading a book, listening to a podcast, every day, 15 minutes of just learning something that has to do with our financial IQ, right? And again, I know I keep saying the same things, but I just want to reiterate that the reason why that's our responsibility is because it's not out here. It's not normalized. Nobody's going out here just doing that, right? So we have to know the value in that ourselves and do it. We have to know, like, no, I am constantly educating myself. And he talked about that in the chapter. And at the end of this chapter, he said, about like there's new information out here, so like happening so fast that our value is really in us being able to learn quickly and adjust quickly, right? And so the way that we stay on top of our game, the way that we, you know, stay in our power is by these power practices, is by daily educating ourselves. So when opportunities come up, that's how you stay ready, and you don't got to get ready, because you've been ready, right? You're already out here financially aware, being ready for opportunities, take advantage of them. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Well, I'm excited. I will see y'all next week. Everyone order their book, download the ebook, and let's continue to build our wealth. Love y'all. Bye.